hey ho, we're all here to have good fun. And yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. I don't know much about the track, to be honest, so I can't tell you a lot of things. I do believe there have been MotoGP racing here before at Brno. Place somewhere in the Czechia, maybe? No idea. No. Yes. No. What's that question? Probably. What? How much did you get out there? No, do I have to tell you good evening again? No. Well then, let's try again. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and people who identify as others, including Chris Hill. Welcome to the second round of the SSRI WTCC Drivers' Championship. We'll be racing the second day of racing. It's technically the third and fourth round of racing here at Brno, placed somewhere in the Eastern European countries. Czechia, I do believe, somewhere around that. We will probably see a lot of good racing tonight. We had a good race last time, a lot of door banging, a lot of racing, a lot of overtakes, a lot of good action on the track. This time at Brno we'll be having a 10-minute qualifying session, followed up by a 20-minute race. After that we'll have reverse grid race for 30 minutes, both of which will be extremely interesting. In the last one it could be a fun thing to see how many of the faster drivers who will cut their way back through the field and up to the top again. Maybe we can see a double winner. It's not the most unlikely scenario, but it would be a stretch for some of the drivers to make all the overtakes once again. We have a lot of fast drivers in this championship. Many names we know from the community, from other racing. A lot of new faces as well. A lot of people who we don't know a lot about, but we sure will after tonight. We had a lot of fun in the first race. Championship standings as of this moment are that Sean Petrie leads by 70 points, or you have 70 points, followed by Trebek with 53, Piera on 46, Valendog on 36, Marshall Clean on 34, Dan Lenson on 31, together with Stu Neal, great name, Tim Spenkelink on 29, Mike Abrinosa on 28, and Alexander Delor on 22. A lot of other drivers have scored points, but I don't want to sit here all night just talking about the points. Anyway, what else are there to say about the track? We don't know much about it. Eastern European track. Fun track to race at. There have been motorcycle racing here before. I do believe that's what it was built for. I'm just trying to figure out stuff about it as we speak. We are obviously well prepared here in the very, very pro commentary shed. We have been placed somewhere on a field near Worcestershire in England, but hey ho, it is what it is. It was the nearest place available for tonight's race. Racing circuit. Let's go, let's find some information on the track. Seems to be a 14 corner track. If I remember correctly, there's a lot of elevation on this track, but I might be wrong. There's an uphill section, probably a downhill section as well. But or maybe it just goes endlessly up to the sky. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, I think we are getting somewhat close to getting track action. Maybe Chris Hill can confirm that.
Qualifying is currently running, so I'm now doing comms with you, Oliver, because I felt sorry for you. So, the world that can hear me speaking as well. So yeah, I'll switch over to qualifying now. There's 10 minutes of qualifying session, as I've already said. Let's jump on with Mark Cox, hopefully.
Ah yes, live pictures from the track. Nice and sunny day in Czechia. Probably. In Eastern Europe at least. We have a lot of great trees here on the track. Go-kart track on the infield, which we hope we won't see much of today. a nice yellow helicopter sitting around. Oh, and a racing car. There is actually a racing car. It will be Nart Cox in his Lada, I believe it is. What a fun car to see racing. Not a company that we normally think of when we're talking about racing cars, obviously. We more think of them as sturdy, old Soviet cars that can do anything and never break down. And if they break down, you can fix them with a rock and a stick you find on the side of the road. Or another Lada driver will come by and knock on the hood and say, yes, you're fine. Is it Aragon? Yeah. And here we have the famous uphill section that Chris Hill was talking about as it plans out into a left-hand corner. Hard to control these touring cars, most of them, if not all, are front-wheel drive. Someone could probably correct me on that at some point in the chat, maybe. People with experience in these kinds of cars. I haven't driven them myself, at least not in RaceRoom. I do seem to remember that they are all front-wheel drive. They should be, at least. Which is quite a challenge to control into these corners. But yeah. And let's see if we get a full lap with Nart Cox just crossed the start-finish line coming into the first corner. And Marshall, this goes faster so far, followed by Neil. Oh, it seems hard to turn in. Very, very low. And now the times comes flying in. We'll keep you updated as they come in. Kowalski goes fastest. Still Neil second. Valder goes into third. Brno's fourth. Viz fifth. And Neil in sixth. As of this moment, but still a lot of laps to be driven here. 7 minutes to go in the qualifying. Lee goes in. A new fastest lap. Jean-Pierre, I believe. 2 minutes 9. And Sem Spenkling comes in as well. And I think we have another guy in the commentary booth all of a sudden.
Dominic's took pity on you and coming to join you.
Ah, Mr. Dominic Giese, welcome to the shed. How are you tonight?
Yeah, hello Oliver. I'm fine. How are you?
Just as fine as you, I suppose. Maybe a little finer, you never know.
Yeah, probably.
So, Dominic, can you tell us anything about this track at all? Because I have no clue on what the hell this track is. I mean, what the heck?
I haven't that much more knowledge than you. I've never raced in these cars before, and I've never watched these races at all. So I can't talk more about you than you.
Ah, can we get another expert into the booth, maybe? Yeah, that's fine, Chris. Do whatever you like. Anyways, touring cars, I do believe they are 2. What did we agree on? 2.0, 2 point something turbo cars, front wheel driven. Fun cars to throw around on the track.
Whoa, Mega Drift by Spankling. Oh.
Sem Spankling. But who else but Sem? A true showboat, a legend in the community, and this famous 69 number in the windscreen. Oh, someone said there's an Opel on track. And you know what? That's probably my favorite car for. Hey, here he is. Dmitry Schenk, everybody. Mr. Opel himself.
In an Opel.
What a wonderful car.
Wow.
We don't see a lot of those driving around. I do believe he's the only one who chose the Opel. Oh well, the English people might know it as a Vauxhall. Or something funny. Something funny like that. Vauxhall? Chris can maybe tell us if it's still an Astra, or if it also have a funny last name in England. It's an Astra. Oh, an Astra. Anyways,
knew that Opel was building cars like that.
Oh yes, they are. We have seen Opel touring cars before, but apparently it's not that fast. Dimitri goes into 12th with his first timed lap. But we'll see what happens. There's actually less than a 10th between the top two at the moment, with Jean-Pierre and Neil driving around somewhere on the track. Probably trying to improve. Oh well, it would be weird if they didn't. But wow, just look at that machinery. It just screams out mediocrity. What a wonderful car. I couldn't imagine a more fun car to drive in. You don't got a stereo? No, I don't think so. It's a racing car, so of course it don't. I don't know, maybe it still have. But if it does, it's probably not working. Anyways, on board now with Simon Trebek. Currently set in 5th position. He needs to find 9/10 of a second to get up into 1st, but let's see what he can do. Seems to have been improving in the 1st sector, currently in the 2nd. Coming down to what looks like a double right-hander. Followed by a short downhill into the left-hander. Long left-hander apparently. Under the bridge looks like another left-hander coming up.
A lot of left-handers on this track.
Oh yes, Kowalski goes up into 3rd. Kowalski in 3rd now. Gill goes into 4th. I'm not even sure that that's his name. Maybe he'll just be that guy from now on.
Oliver, just so everybody can hear me as well, your knowledge of this track is astounding.
Oh yes.
And the fact that you know your left and rights.
Yes, who would have thought? I also know my ups and downs. This is probably an uphill section. Yes, you all know that we are so prepared here in the commentary booth. None of us knew that we'd be doing this until like 20 minutes ago, so...
To be fair, Dominic had less time. He's just been dragged in.
I come out about 20 minutes ago, so...
Well, we couldn't have me just sitting here rambling around for an hour, so it's nice of you to join us. Although the shit is getting a little bit cramped. Anyways,
I'll breathe in.
Let's 2 minutes to go. And Ribbeck is still in 6th, it looks like.
Yeah.
Unfortunately now the law in a Hyundai. Also not a car that you think of when you're thinking racing, but hey-ho.
But you think about Hyundai in the WTCR series. That I'm sure. So that's a car where they're building like hull, a lot of it.
I don't watch a lot of WTCR, to be honest. I only watch this series, it's the best. This is where the real action is.
I only seen some ads of that, and every time I see the ad, there's a Hyundai.
Of course. Well, it is a beautiful car to look at. I do believe that... Ooh, he goes off. I do believe that there are 2 Hyundai models to choose from in the RaceRoom series here. Oh, and we have a Renault in the wall.
It's this.
It's Marcel Wiss.
I don't think he have another time. Set another clip.
Adrian New. And now we have the qualifying results. I do believe the qualifying stops as the timer runs out on RaceRoom. So on pole position for round 1 we'll have... Oh, someone just improved. Okay, so the qualifying is apparently not completely over. But we will have Jean Pierre on pole. Jean Petre. Followed by Neil in 2nd. Spenkelink goes into 3rd. A guy we're usually known to see up on top. Karlo Volskovic. Yes, I'll keep pronouncing his name differently all night. In 4th. Gill in 5th. Valenberg in 6th. Trebek in 7th. Dave Jr., our American driver, goes up into 8th. And now I don't have the standings anymore. So. A nice top 8 at least. What did you guys think of qualifying? Any surprises?
Yeah, I don't know, but we see a lot of struggling with these cars, like we see before with the drift. So I expect a really nice race to see now.
We sure will. We sure will. How long do we have until the race? 20 seconds to grid. Wow, it's short. It's short. I don't know if we have mentioned this, but it is all the default setups in this tournament. So no one will have an advantage of being set up masters or gurus or anything funny like that. Now the red light seems on, and we are racing! Sean Patrick gets off to a great start. No one seems to be able to challenge him into turn 1. A building is in the way. It's still too wide further down. Car moves across. Not too much of interesting lines going on. Seems like Jean-Pierre got off to a good start, but they're almost 3 wide further down here, following Yannick Valendok coming in behind the hill and all the parked cars. Still too wide down further in the field. Oh, let's hope no one gets crazy here. Although we would like to see it. Hard on the brakes. A hill is in the way from the look. It looks like Nart Cox is making a move up. Yeah.
Nice mountain.
Yes. He successfully made a move, maybe? Where was he before?
So, not a bad bump. Yeah.
And it worked, Dive bomb. Oh,
yeah.
Slight contact rubbing. Rubbing is racing in this series. Someone seems to be kicking off a lot of dirt further up the field. Slight bumps and rubs everywhere. Nart Cox is on the outside, loses the position, it looks like. No, he keeps on the front, gets on the throttle earlier. It's very tight now, switching lanes all around. Slight bump in the back again. No real issues for anyone in the start so far. Oh, these onboard cams are also so good with the numbers up in front of us. We can see all the live action coming into the hairpin for the first time. Fabio Gilles looks to be wanting to make the move on Simsport as soon as he gets an opening for it. Gets close under braking, but not quite close enough to go for a move. Even though, oh, now he's getting there. Will Gil make the move? Can he challenge Mr. Simsport himself, the OG alien in this community? No, he backs out. He backs out. But interesting to see that they have the longer version of the Hyundai. Seems like it's the car to have at the minute. Further down the field we have Simon Trebek now in the white car, I think. In the white car, yes. Coming in behind the building, is he making? He is showing himself up on the inside, but didn't work. Wasn't quite alongside there to make the move stick. Valendok slides out a little bit wide. That makes an opening for Trebek. Can Trebek come in? He's early on the throttle. He will have the chance to get out on the inside coming into the next corner. Or will he choose the outside? Just looking at this inside. He's going to the outside. Almost 3 wide now. They're coming in. Can they keep it clean? Will he make the move on the outside? No, he gets denied, looks like. But I do believe the next corner is going to the right. Let's see who comes out on top here when we emerge behind the trees.
Oh.
When we emerge behind the trees, they are still side by side. Almost, or it looks like it. He's gonna make the move. And Yannick Valendok have been passed, it looks like.
No.
No?
Not quite.
Not quite.
But they are side by side now again. And the next one is the left-hander. And Trebek goes to the inside and overtakes Valendok.
What a sneaky move. Can you make it 2 in a row? Oh, Yannick is hanging out on the outside still. He will not give up this position. He dives into the hole, a little bit of contact, goes sliding. Oh, they sorted out, but and Valendok is still a little bit wide. This will not make a good chance for him coming into the next corner. Let's see if he will try it again on the outside. No, it looks like he is just truly overtaken now. What a move by Trebek. What a move. And we normally wouldn't see stuff like this in GT cars, but remember, touring cars rubbing is racing, and with the front wheel drive, if you touch the rear, nothing is really gonna happen if the guy you touch just keeps his throttle in. And what a lovely view looking back at the Honda up here from the back of Fabio Gilles' Hyundai. You really see how they snake through. And how it looks like it's not so easy hitting the apexes in these cars. But let's see what happens later on. Looks like Cox is still driving a little bit. He's definitely in a fight over 15th at the minute. They're swapping positions like madmen down there. again, what we're on to lap 3 now, 15 minutes remaining. We're already a quarter of the way through this race. Time really flies by in this series. Oh, that looks like he's a little bit late on the braking. Sneak out on the outside. Gil is making it on the outside, coming into the inside.
Oh, no.
And we are behind the trees again. He slots in behind.
Oh, what a shame. But nice try for a move.
He looks really feisty, Fabio Gil, right now.
He won this position.
He looks hungry at least. He looks hungry and he looks fast. It seems like there's a little bit of a train forming behind Neil for second place, with Sim and Gil following closely behind. It's interesting to see who will come out of this on top once we have finished these 14 minutes of racing we have left on the track for race 1 of this evening. Fabio Gil will be trying, if Sim Spenkelink leaves a door open, just a tiny bit open, then Gil will dive into the hole. He is coming now, he is coming. Looking for the inside around the long hairpin. They're side by side coming into the next corner.
But next corner is a left-hander.
Who dares to be latest on the brakes? Looks like they were equal, so Spenkelink slots in front again, but Gil, he looks really feisty here. This could be the center of action for tonight's race, at least race 1.
He wants this position and he's doing everything he can. He looks for every section on this track where there's a free space. He could dive in and try to gain this position. Really nice fighting by him.
He sure is. And remember, with touring cars, there's always a lot of lines open for racing into corners. It's rarely we'll see the same line be the fastest for all drivers. But it looks like they are losing a little bit of time to Sean Petri in the front. He is pulling away. He almost have a second now down to Neil in second, but Sim goes 2 wheels on the gravel there. That will slow him down. This is the chance for Gil. Gil is coming now. Gil is on the outside. Still on the outside as we head into the braking zone for turn 2. Oh, he looks like he can keep it in. And we got a good camera this time around. He is ahead now. He is ahead coming into the next corner. This is a right-hander. Fabio Gil making the move up into third. Let's see if Sim have an answer for this. Can Sim Spenkelink come back and reclaim the third position that he so desperately wants in this race? Oh, he slots in behind. Maybe they'll work together with the 2 Hyundais on catching up on Jean-Pierre in the front and Neil in second. But does he have the pace, or will they keep fighting and slowing each other down? That's the thing we'll have to wait and see. Probably not for too long. We know that Sim is a smart driver, but can he keep his head calm? He surely wants to get that top 3 and the podium in race 1. He can't be satisfied with not being up there. As we're going down the hill now, coming up to the hairpin, doesn't look like we are getting much action up here at the minute.
Yeah, but you see, Gil is trying to push away from Spankerling to gain another place of Neil.
Yes, and remember, all the cars all have default setups, so Sim and Gil, they will have the same setup on the car, so in theory Sim could just copy Gil's lines if he could make them work for himself. It looks like Sim is also pushing everything he can to keep up with Gil now, as he just put 2 wheels at least out on the AstroTurf in the last corner. Once again, and Gil is now getting close to Neil. And the battle for second, Gil is a hungry man at the minute. Would someone please feed him a Snickers or something? Other brands of chocolate are available. As we are looking down the back of this something of a car. Oh, that Hyundai is looking. He's just showing himself a little bit on the inside. They're getting close, obviously, under braking. But Neil keeps the car nicely pinned to the apex. Does take a little bit of a mistake from the car ahead for these cars to make an actual move stick, but we'll see what happens. As now Gil is coming in the slipstream, pulling out. No, he thinks better off it staying behind for now. He will probably just wait for an opening. Whoa, they're getting close. And now he's on the inside. We just love these Jackies trees.
That was nearby a contact by them both. By the two both. Off of it.
It was definitely close. He's looking feisty now. He wants this position. He wants the P2 and he wants to chase down Jean-Pierre. It sure looks like he's the fastest man on track. But we'll have to wait and see if he can make the move stick at some point, or if he'll just have to settle in for third. Seems unlikely at the minute that anyone can stop Gil from progressing up the field. But he have such different lines from everyone else. Gil at the minute. That might be why he's so much quicker than Neil. But they are losing a lot of time to Jean-Pierre. This is playing right into his book. It would be hard for him to lose it now. 10 minutes remaining of the race. Not quite close enough for the move. Yet it looks like Neil is just keeping the car pinned on the apex, so that Gil will have a hard time getting by. As we saw him go right over the sausage that time. Going a little bit wide there. Coming up again. That looks like that Neil can just manage to keep the gap down to Gil. Just big enough for Gil not to be able to come close and get something done under braking. But now we're heading down the front straight. Might be the longest straight on the track. Gil will try to use the slipstream now to get all over Neil coming into turn 1. We have seen Gil be very fast out of T1 so far this race. Let's see if he can do it again, if he can force Neil out onto the gravel just a tiny bit. No, not this time. Turns 2 and 3 seem to be where the moves are made so far behind the trees. If you can get it out on the outside into the first one and take the inside for the next, that seems to be the best option for overtaking. If you don't want to make a little bit of contact somewhere as positions swap further down the field. As it looks like Linsen made a position up, and they are side by side. There's a lot of side by side action down here. Camano in the Hyundai coming up. Making the move stick or the defensive move. No, doesn't look like it. Sliding a little bit.
Whoa, that was close. I'm not sure if they hit that there, but whoa. Oh my god.
What a beautiful moment as they go side by side further up the field as well, just ahead of us now. The battle seems to be spicing up down here. They want the positions now. They want to get further up and just get a slide point. What a drift coming through there. JC Camano, everyone. What a show off. Or maybe it's just how you're supposed to drive these cars as they go side by side again. Camano on the inside. Makes the move and makes it stick. He makes the move stick on Linsen. Oh, is that Junior ahead?
Nee, Junior. Junior got a move stick of Camano.
Wow.
Yeah, so feisty all over the grid. Nice to watch.
As now we follow Nart Cox, who also seems to be in a little bit of a train with the Opel ahead and the Renault behind. He's trying to show himself in the mirrors of Dimitri Schenk's Opel, but that opens the door for Linsen in the Renault behind. I think it is. Is it? It probably is. Oh, seems like I'm 2 for 2 now in this race. It's a nice train forming back here. The skills still haven't made the move on Neil further up the field. 6.5 minutes to go, crossing the line now once again. This train could get spicy when coming into turn 1. Did someone get a bad exit? That doesn't look like it. They are still in line, coming into the first corner. Still holding up. But they go a little bit missed apex from Dimitri Sink. That can maybe open the door for Nart Cox. Looks like Dimitri made the recovery there. Nart had to lift off the throttle to not ram into the back of Dimitri. Coming into turn 2 now. Will Nart send it up the inside? No, he's falling back into line again. As Dimitri goes wide. Nart Cox on the outside this time. Can he make the switch around? A little bit of contact. They are rubbing in these touring cars. Forcing Dimitri a little bit wide there. Can he get under pressure now? Will we see free wide as Linsen is coming up? No, he still keeps ahead Dimitri. But Nart is all over him on the outside, and now he will also have to deal with the pressure from the Renault of Linsen. Meanwhile, as Linsen almost makes the move on Nart Cox. This is a true fight. And all this fighting is making it an opportunity for Dave Jr. to catch back up to this field and get involved in the action as well. as Dimitri Schenk seems to be enjoying what's happening behind him. He keeps the position now. Nart Cox moves out to attack. Coming into the next corner. They are side by side. Did Dimitri get a bad exit there? He seems slow. Nart Cox is on the inside now coming into the corner. Nart Cox seems to have made his stick. Can Lensen follow him along through? Next time they will turn left, so Lensen might have to give this one up. No, he's ahead. Lensen is ahead of Dimitri Schenk coming in. And he will take the position away. Wow. One small mistake and 2 positions are lost. Can Dave Jr. now come up and capitalize on this as well? It seems like that Opel of Dimitri Schenk is a little bit hurt right now. As I say that, he moves out to attack again. No real... Oh, he misses the apex a little bit. Dave Jr. comes out on the outside now, trying maybe the switch around to get earlier on the throttle. Remember, front-wheel drive cars don't like to turn and get power on at the same time. Sometimes complicates things just a little bit for them. Coming into turn 1 now. Oh, looks like
he struggles a lot with his car and he's out.
Dave Jr. looked like he had to take a little bit of an evasive action then, not to run into the back of Dimitri Schenk. As it seems to have settled down a little bit here further in the back of the field. As we go back up into the battle for second. Fabio Gil have still not made the move on Neil. A little bit surprising as they're still very, very close in this race. Sam Spenkeling is right behind them, so if any one of these drivers makes a mistake, Sim will be right there to take advantage. Lurking behind them like a hawk. Like a true hawk. Some say that's actually what Spenkeling means in Dutch, but we'll probably never know since none of us speaks Dutch. Coming in, Gil still looks for the move. Can't really find any opportunities. Seems like Neil is just a little bit too fast for him to stick it up. 3 minutes to go now. As we come into the hairpin, Fabio Gil goes a little bit wide, maybe trying to set up for a little bit of earlier power on the exit, but no, Sam Spenkeling goes through. Sam Spenkeling goes through up into third again. Gil still has the inside though. Little bit of contact looks like. No, just the camera playing tricks on my mind. Oh, still side by side. Who will come out on top, Spenkeling or Gil? As they head down now into the penultimate corner of this lap. Side by side. Not really. As Gil slots in behind. Will he try the launch? No, he slots in. Sam Spenkeling now in third and will attempt to catch back up to Neil to get the move in for second. But this have helped Neil a lot. 3 seconds. Oh, that's behind that. Roughly a second, 1.2 second gap down to Spenkeling now. As there are only 2.5 minutes left in this race. Looks like that might have saved Neil here and secured the second position. As Simmons and Fabio will be battling this out until the end. I'm sure about that. None of these drivers will be giving an inch from here on out.
Yeah, there you can see how that one mistake is enough to lose one position immediately. And now Jill goes to the inside.
But
he outbraked himself. Oh.
Now gets back in third. Yes, we want to see more of these dramatic moves, but we are getting into the later stages of the race, so if he wants that position, you have to do it in a hurry now. There's no more time to just sit back and enjoy the racing of other drivers. This is the true action time of the race. And remember that there will be reverse grids for next race. For race 2 in this at this evening. As they're also getting closer and closer behind. Maybe Sem is purposefully trying to slow down Gil to get the other guys closer to them. As Gil goes and shows himself on the inside. Nothing came out of that as Sem is cold as an ice bear. Or polar bear. Or maybe just an ice cube. Have you ever tried licking one of those and the summer just gets all that cooling feeling? That's what Sem is right now, that cooling feeling in the summer. As we go into the hairpin, one more time, maybe we'll get another lap. I'm not entirely sure how long this track is time-wise. As we're going up the hill again, it looks like Sem have finished it up, but Sean Petri, we haven't seen much of him all race. And here he is leading the race around. What an astonishing drive. Not really challenged, got out the first corner from the lead. No one close to him. And here we go, 35 seconds remaining of the race. He will cross the line and start another lap, it looks like. So we will get another lap of racing around Brno for the first round, or the first race of this day. With Niels, Spenkeling and Gil following in behind. But the train is getting slightly closer down there. 4 cars could all get up in there with Tribeck and Kowalski coming in behind. Wallendock seems to be a little bit... side-by-side action further down. It's Delors. Delors trying to make the move on Wilson, it looks like. He's coming up on the inside into the first corner on the final lap. Looks like he have made the move, but does he break in time? He does, but not really far enough up the outside. But if he can make it stick on the inside and get on the throttle earlier, he can maybe get it done into the second braking zone of this track. Right up behind, taking all the slipstream he can get. Will he make the move? Will he pull out and try and see if he can do it? He is out. Will he outbrake him? No. Slots in behind. But it looks like Wilson goes onto the curb, which loses him a little bit of traction and grip. Delors have the chance to make the move. Wilson goes a little bit further wide. Wilson comes in into the next corner, still ahead of Delors. Looks like it's a tough challenge to get through on this track. Oh, a little wobble there. Might be Delors' chance. Goes a little bit wider, maybe trying to set up for the next corner to launch it up. Gets into the apex late. No, not close enough. But he surely will be doing everything he can. Here we go, Delors on the inside again. He's really making himself wide in the mirrors of Wilson coming in here. And now we go down to the hairpin for the last time. One of the better overtaking opportunities, switching around, switching back out to the outside. Now here we go. This is the chance for the move. Battle for 10th position. And Delors goes wide. He really wants that position coming in. Looks like it is job done for Wilson if he can manage to just keep it somewhat clean through the last couple of corners. As we now head up the hill for the last time here in race 1. Delors not close enough to make the move. Wilson keeps it clean. I believe there's only one more corner after this one. It will be done. Final corner now. So I think we can start calling from the top. Jean-Pierre wins in front of Neil. Sim Spinkling takes the third podium spot. Who would have thought that just 10 minutes ago? Gil looked so fast. And a lot of showboating after crossing the line from everyone. Tribeck in 5th, Kowalski in 6th, Wallendock 7th, Lean 8th, Marcel Wiss goes into 9th position. As we still have cars who haven't finished yet, it looks like, they just crossed the line. Wiss in 9th, Wilson takes the 10th position in front of Delors. Brno takes the 12th. Naum in 13th, Linton and Schenk comes in behind in 14th and 15th. Dave Jr., our American driver, in 16th. He's probably not used to driving cars with this low horsepower compared to what they normally drive around over there in the States. He might never have seen such a short car as this one before. Camanero in 17th, Travers in 18th. Another Neil in 19th, and Nard Cox finishes off in 20th after DNFing in this race. What happened to Nard? Well, we might never know. Fastest lap goes to Neil, by the way. Wow, what an exciting first race.
Amazing. A lot of battles around the whole track. Everyone was fighting for each position and wants these extra points. So
yes, no one wants to give up an inch in this race. So close battling coming all through. From the front to the back of the field, everyone was in on this race. It's like all gentlemen agreements goes out the window when you see a touring car. You just go racing balls out into every single corner. Surprisingly, we didn't see more contacts in this race. Or maybe it's a track that leans itself well to racing in these cars. What do you think, Dominic? Does this track suit the cars well, or...?
Yeah, really well. I think these cars are built for this track specific. I don't think any other car could do this track so good than these cars.
Surely not. It's like a match made in heaven when we see these touring cars go around Brno here in the Czech town of Brno, probably. at least in Eastern Europe, as Chris Hill seems to have figured out how to make the graphics work. I did notice it was Dominic Chris Hill later on as director.
Yeah, Chris and I pursue and joined each other.
You are an evil person, Anderson. People can hear me calling you that as well.
You spelled my last name wrong again, god damn it.
I do it on purpose now.
I know. I know. You just really hate the Danes.
That better.
That's fine. You could just go Mr. Warner Oliver.
But Oliver, remember, you can't spell my last name each right.
What is it spelled right now?
Yes, now it's spelled right.
Oh, damn.
Not with a double S.
Have I actually spelled your name correct? That's impressive.
Well, then we might have to figure out the entry for our endurance season. I thought it was Gisse. So it's not Giese, it's Giese.
Yes.
Ah. Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
As we are waiting now for the second race of this fine evening. We do have reverse grid here. I actually don't know if it's just top 10 or the entire field that swaps around. Maybe Chris Hill can inform us a little bit about that.
As far as I'm aware, it's the entire grid swaps.
Oh, it's gonna be wonderful the second race then. Didn't you watch the first race, Chris?
I watched it. I don't know if you noticed. I was trying to get cameras and trying to get it out of the trees. For some reason, these cameras here are a bit shocking. So, apologies to all the viewers for looking at the foliage around Brno.
I think it's a wonderful forest we are placed in here. Just enjoy the virtual nature we have. It's so much better than real nature. We even have a large tractor on the side.
It's just like the Nürburgring.
Yeah, except for here we have perfect sunny weather all the time instead of darkness, grayness and skies, as it looks like we are getting ready to go green for the second race. Yes, it is reverse grid all the way around. Nart Cox in second. D. Neil goes into first, or starts in first at least, as there's some swapping around. Someone got off to a bad start further down the field. As we come into the first corner for the first time, a lot of swapping still. Looks like Derek Neal goes into the corner first, all alone in front. Someone's on the grass on the inside, it looks like.
It's Nart that's in the lead.
Yes. Nart leads. Oh, Nart Cox leads. Nart jumps Derek Neal from second into first corner. Coming into the second one now, a lot of side-by-side action further down. This can't end well. Oh my god, they're free wide. As we hear following
nice picture.
Jack Wilson now. Moving around a little bit in the field. Can he make the move around the outside of, I believe that's Linson in the black Renault ahead of him, on the side of him, somewhere near him at least. As we are still too wide coming into the next corner. A little bit of rubbing coming down the straight. They're free wide further down the field. There's contact there, but they stay on track. Oh, and it's the Opel on the outside and more contact. The Opel seems to get shafted there. Oh, he's sliding further down. This is when it all kicks off. A lot of contact. Someone got one sideways there, probably into the wall it looked like. A lot of dirt is being kicked up there, and they are all over the track now. This is racing, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we want to see. Well, not the crashing, obviously, but the closeness of these touring cars. It's insane as there's more contact. Manages to keep it on track and goes back into the action, and he's gone around. Marshall Clean is into the wall. That looks like a little bit of damage there on the front.
A little bit of
race is over now. 30-minute race.
The front remaining.
But still ahead of it was Tribeck involved in the first incident we saw early on. He's at least down into 20th with Marshall Clean now, and who's that going slow? Is that Albrenosa we saw there on the outside? Going very slow. It was. Albrenosa have been involved as well. There must have been action down in the hairpin on lap 1 of this second race of the evening. 30-minute race this time, and he goes around in front of him again. It looks like he have too much damage on that car. Marshall Clean looks like a man in trouble here down the field, as they're still swapping around further up the field, as Sean Pietri have moved up back into 7th position already. He could be a man who goes for the double win this time around. As the action looks good up here. Do we see moves into? Yes, we see some moves. There's side by side, looks like at least 2 wide coming into turn 1. with a Hyundai on the inside of the Alfa Romeo there, as Sean Petrie looks at the action, prime seat here, front row seats for what could happen into the next corner, as he will be looking for an opening himself. As JC Camano now goes to the inside on Derek Neal for third position in this race, and it looks like he makes it stick. He's up into third now. Linson ahead and Nart Cox leads the race. But Camano is into third now, and there's a lot of battling going on right behind them. Interesting to see how this one is going to pan out coming further down. Oh, there's contact coming down the street. That's Sean Pietri is going into the contact there. Will he keep it on track? Oh, the bumping. He loses out with some positions there. Not so good. And that's Sim Spenkeling that moved ahead with the 69 car there. Might take the inside move on Yannick Valendog. It looks like he could do, as Patrick Trevor seems to have been a little bit off the track further down the field. Dropping like a fly. Or maybe I just haven't paid enough attention to him, as we here see Gil again. A man who looks spicy and capable of overtaking on this track in race 1. What can he do here in the second race? Starting far back the field. He's just behind Yannick Valendog now. Moving into the inside, coming down to the hairpin. Don't think Yannick will be fighting this too hard. Or will he, as Sean Pietri is now making a little bit of contact with Daryl Neal. Sean Pietri goes off onto the grass on the inside. Moving back out, defending a little bit now, and is that Valendog and Gil behind? It is Valendog and Gil behind. That can play into what will happen later on. Derek Neal pulls it on this race, dropped down to 6th position already. Not the best of starts so far for him, but we'll see if he can make the comeback. That's Sean Petrie. It is a little bit of a tough challenge to keep him behind as he moves up ahead into 6th now. As Derek Neal drops into 7th. Oh, and you get offline once and then you get swamped by cars on this track, it seems like. As we go on board with Yannick Valendog now making the move on Derek Neal coming into turn 1. Yannick will take it to the outside though. Can he make it stick? He can maybe get a little bit early on the front if he can get an angle in. He's already on the apex. He have made the move now. Yannick Valendog moves up into 7th position, as the next man ahead of Valendog will be Sean Petrie, who's just behind Sim Spenkeling now. 1st and 3rd in the first race. Could be duking it out on the track later on, as it looks like Sim Spenkeling are making the move on Alexander Delors now. He does make the move, it looks like, as Delors will be the next victim for Sean Pietri, as he will attempt to get back into the lead of this race. Sim Spenkeling still looking it. We have the two Hyundais here behind each other. We can see the difference in length in these cars, which probably does affect this handling of them quite a lot, I could imagine. As Sim goes a little bit wide there, maybe it's a tactical move to get early on the throttle, but there's contact behind us. Sim gets tapped a little bit on the rear there, as Sean Pietri is trying to make the move outside, inside. Which way does he go? He goes nowhere, as Yannick Valendog goes a little bit wide. Oh, they're rubbing now. He really wants to get that position away from Alexander Delors. Coming down to the hairpin now. Will we see a move? He's showing on the outside, forcing Delors to go defensive. As we now go back to JC Cameramano in 3rd position. Sim Spenkeling wants to make the move up there to get back up into the position he finished in at the first race. What a start for Sim so far. 7 minutes and he went from 18th and up into 4th now. Can he make it 3rd before this lap is over? I highly doubt it. Not too many good overtaking opportunities left on this track, but he does look to be right up on the rear wing here. Moves to the inside. Will we see Sim Spenkeling make the dive? Sim Spenkeling dives into 3rd position. Does he stop it in time? He stops it on time on the apex. A little bit wide there. It does compromise his exit speed of this corner a little bit, but it's not a problem. As we see, Cameramano gets swamped by cars further down the field. As both Delors, seems like Sean Pierre also gets the move done on him. That was the little bit of contact, side-by-side action behind Sim Spenkeling here, as Delors will make the move now on Sean Pietri. Wow! Coming into the first corner, that was a good touring car move we saw there. Second corner now, will Delors go defensive? Slightly defensive, as there's someone all the way to the inside there. Trying the move on, looks like Valendog, and it works. Someone passes Valendog on a spectacular way. Was that Gil who made that move stick? Looks like it. Seems like Gil are the overtaking master around this track, as Gil's next victim will be Cameron, he also made that move stick. Maybe it was Cameron that Gil made the overtaking move on. Yes, I'm only saying that name so fast so that people can't hear me butcher the pronunciation. Yeah, oh, there's contact further behind. They both go sideways. And that's the Renault of Marshall Viss, it looks like. It is. Drops down all the way back into 13th position now. Let's hope he doesn't have too much damage and continue racing. But these cars are built very sturdy. A little bit of rubbing and a little bit of contact won't hurt them too much in these circumstances, as he's already up and on Nam trying to make the move. He really wants to get back up there. Coming into the hairpin once again this time. He's not close enough to make the attack on the Peugeot, I don't believe. No, as the Peugeot goes sliding. Wow, that was a free position for Marcel Viss there. As we saw a sideways Peugeot coming around the hairpin. Further up the field we have Jake Wilson now defending the position from Kowalski. Some Polish guy. For 10th once again, as we saw Jack Wilson finishing the first race in 10th position and have kept 10th position through this race. Probably been a little bit up and down the field, but still in 10th at least. Double 10th wouldn't be a bad result for Jack Wilson around this track. Also in the Opel. Wow, we have two Opels racing this time around. And we can see the other one 2 positions up. What a legend, or Vauxhall as you English people might call it. As we're now on board with Sean Pietri coming into turn 2. He looks to make the move on Delors. Delors seems to be very good at defending around this track. Doesn't look like Sean Pietri can get the move done. We saw this in the first race when Gil couldn't get the move done on Neil, I believe it was. And the two Neils are battling it out at the minute. Now there's about a minute behind them, but they are 16th and 17th at the minute. Pietri goes to the outside. It's a little bit rough to make it stick here. It seems like Delors, he knows what he's doing. Defending it off ever so slightly, costing them both time, and it looks like Sean Pietri could have had the move done if he hadn't had to go back on the brakes to avoid making the contact. Let's come down. We have seen a lot of moves and swerving down this straight before. Nothing really happens, as we can see behind these two guys. We have Valendog making the move on Schenk now. Moving one spot up. No, that wasn't that. Yeah, Valendog made the move on Schenk, or what? No, I just saw his name move. At least, or maybe Gil made the move on Valendog. Maybe that's why we saw his name move on the leaderboard. Someone in the YouTube chat could probably tell me if they paid attention to the actual racing. But it doesn't look like we have too much of that at the minute. Following Valendog now. Driving the Honda, it looks like a Honda Civic, a yellow Honda Civic DHL sponsored. All these liveries we see are generic from RaceRoom. No custom liveries in this event, or this series, or RaceRoom in general, I don't think. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. As we see the different lines there, Valendog coming closer to Gil this time around. Will Valendog try and make the move on Gil as we jump further back down again, as Adrian Niam gets up? Just what I said. That's almost what I said, Chris. Almost what I said. As he's coming up behind Wilson, who have dropped down from his 10th position into 12th. There must have been some kind of action there that we missed, unfortunately. But that's how it is when there's so much action on the track. We can't catch it all on camera. Even though that Chris is trying his very, very best. As there's a move just ahead of them, as we see Renault goes out for the attack. Then Yam goes into the move. Inside, around the hill, we get view on them again. Inside becomes outside into the next corner, and he doesn't look like he can make it. You know, that will be following another car. That's why I got so confused all of a sudden.
Yeah, still too wide.
As Viss is coming in, trying to come up, as we still have the side-by-side behind Nam and Wilson. As Wilson makes the move back up into 12th now, it looks like. Viss goes a little bit wide. Can we now come back? Oh, it's a five car train soon, this. Viss is taking to the ideal racing line, but that does open up the inside a little bit. Oh, they are getting so close under braking. I think it's these cameras who are playing tricks on my mind, but it always looks like they're making contact to me when they get into these braking zones. Super close racing with these cars. As we have 17 minutes left in the race, coming down to the hairpin once again. As we are here on board with Jack Wilson, no one hits the apex in this corner. As Jack Wilson takes it late, makes the move stick on Portimao, and he does very nice marshals. We can see that, and he does take it stick. He is ahead. He's up into 11th now, trying to chase back down Marcel Viss for 10th, the position that he had in the first race, and he will be trying to chase back down again. But 5-car battling here, you'll just love to see it. And different manufacturers as well we see up in this group, a lot of different ones. As I do believe that Niam made the move further back behind as we jump back up into the action, as Jean Pietri seems to finally have made the move at DeLong. Or have he now? Has he now? He have made the move. It looks like it's sticking around. As there not a lot of action for the top 3 positions, it seems like Nart Cox might have tactically had a bad race in the first one to get the magical 2nd place on the grid. With Linsen behind and Spenkling triple Dutch in the lead of this race, no less. Maybe they're all sons of Max Verstappen. We might never know. Someone goes up. What the actual is going on there? Wow.
What was that? They only driven on the 2
what
wheels.
Was it? And who was that? Fabio Gil. Oh no! One of the most exciting drivers to follow here. 2-wheel driving into the corner. Did he hit that sausage curve a little bit too hard? Probably have, as he have dropped down all the way into 15th position now. Was fighting so far up the field. Must be devastating. Though we do know we have the pace. Oh, that car have taken a big hit on the hood of the car. As you would expect when a car flips like that. But was the contact or did he hit the curb? I guess we'll never actually know. Maybe they will tell us after the race. As we follow Jack Wilson again. Down the downhill section that it's actually named. I do believe that Chris Hill told me early on in the race, coming up to the hairpin now. Shows himself on the inside, outside. Does he go back to the inside? No, he doesn't. But who can hook the apex best? It looks like Jack Wilson does it. Who's into 10th now, who's trying the move for 9th position this time. As they are side by side coming into the next corner. You can really see him want to try this move. Falls in behind, but he does have the inside for the next corner. It looks like Jake Wilson makes the move there. And who's that coming up there? Is that Dave Jr. also wanting to get in on this fun? Oh, a little bit of contact there between Dave and Viz. Viz slots in behind into 10th position for now. Dave will be wanting to make this one. Coming into one of the next couple of corners. Oh, that Audi looks so fast. Well, it's maybe because it's an Audi, not a Brno. Only in touring cars can we ever see an Audi like this, but go face to face with Opel Astras and Golf GTIs.
It's a German car. You must say it looks nice.
Yeah, well, German engineering and stuff. Germany.
Yeah.
As Portimao went into the pits, are there forced pit stops in this series? I don't believe there are. There aren't any forced pit stops. He must have been involved in something. Maybe he's the one who took out Fabio Gil and had to get some repairs done. As here we are following Nam this time in the Peugeot, trying to look up the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Patrick Travers. It looks like coming. He's on the inside. Does he make it stick? It looks like he does make it stick. It's a little bit hard to tell from this angle. He is ahead now. Nam makes the move on Travers. Oh, as Gil wants to get in on this action as well. We have seen Gil. He's so fast around this track. Will he make the move already now into the next corner? No, he's not sitting behind. He's just enjoying the action for now. Looking at what's going on as we go here to Sim Spenkling, who have made a move on Lenz, and Sim Spenkling up into 2nd with Nart Cox ahead of them. These two guys are normally teammates when racing in endurance racing, but here on track today they are bitter rivals. But Sim Spenkling now in pursuit for 1st position. 2 seconds he have to catch up. 2.3 seconds he needs to catch up in about 12.5 minutes. to a guy who's normally quite equal on him in race pace, but we haven't seen them race too much in touring cars before. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, as it looks like that there are some back markers into play further up as well. We'll have to wait and see what happens. As Sean Pietri is also coming up now, he'll be trying to move on Linsen next time around, or at least when he gets close enough to make the move. As the battle down here for 9th, 10th and 11th still rages on, as we now see Marcel Viss and Dave Jr. trying it on the inside. No, he thinks better of it. Going for the outside line, maybe going for the late apex for the extra speed coming out of the corner. We have seen that work for other drivers earlier in these two races, but just not enough speed to get this one done. He's about 3 or 4 car lengths behind. A little bit optimistic if he's gonna launch it, but he can hope for a mistake, as it looks like that Jake Wilson is a little bit slow right now. Jake Wilson is slow, and Marcel Viss is getting close to that, as these 3 cars go tip to toes with each other now. Nothing separates this battle for 9th position. All of them wants this more than anything in the world. You could give them the opportunity to win the lottery or take this 9th position. They would probably take the lottery though, but any sane man would take the 9th position in this prestigious race, as they are scrabbling to get the most traction coming out here. Marcel Viss still holds on, as a lot of moving around from Dave Jr. Seems like the car gets a little bit loose under braking when you're swerving that much, but they probably know better than we do. This is the famous downhill stretch coming into the hairpin. Let's see if they all hit the apex this time, or if someone goes right and positions will swap once again in this battle, as Dave Jr. tries it on the outside, a little bit sideways. Maybe it was a small mistake from him that forced him out there. It looks like it, as Marcel Viss now gets up on the wing again, and now we jump to Sean Pietri now for 3rd position. He will attempt this one on Linsen, as Linsen in the Renault will try to get the better traction coming out here, but it looks like Sean Pietri have slightly more speed right now. Tugging into the slipstream very nicely, showing himself on the outside. No sudden moves, really showing off that he is going to make it, but he's not late enough on the brakes to make that one stick. Battle for 3rd with under 10 minutes now to go in this race. Sean Pietri looked like early on in the race that he would have had a shot at the double win, but couldn't make the move on DeLore, and that have slowed him down a lot. Now he's coming up on the inside, diving into the inside of Dan Linsen, side by side through the corner. Still side by side. Sean Pietri have moved ahead up into 3rd, but can Linsen come back? No, I would say. Then he will have to launch it into the next corner, which these cars are capable of doing if you get them stopped. Let's see what happens though. Sean Pietri up into 3rd position. He'll now be trying to chase down Simsport, who's within a second of the lead of the race as we speak. Simsport might be looking for the race win here. Double podium for him if he can keep this position home, and same for Sean Pietri. That will look good on the championship tallies if that keeps up. These cars are just beautiful going around this track. Don't you guys think?
So nice. As I said before, this track is made for these cars, and they can fight that much. I'm really happy to see this race, watch this race.
Yeah, we normally don't get this close racing in any of the other series that we have here on the channel. We do have a lot of close racing though, it's not that, but not as action-packed in every corner as these races seems to be. Why haven't anyone told me about these WTCC races before? This is amazing, this is wonderful. This is the best racing, some might say. As we see the 69 car of Simsport here, getting closer and closer to Nart Cox. Looks like Sim is on the offense. He will be trying it out for the win in this race. Two fast drivers will be going toe to toe. Maybe not for another lap or two, maybe 3, but Dem does have the speed and he is gaining every lap on Nart Cox at the minute. Sean Pietri is coming up behind them as well, gaining a little bit If he makes it up there, we can maybe have a freeway battle for the lead, as Nart Cox will probably try to defend all that he have ever learned in his entire life to keep this first position and take the race win here in race 2 of this evening. As Marcel Wilson is still battling it out down here for 9th position. It's just so wonderful to see drivers being so close on skill level. You can duke it out for so long in these races, in these cars. Whoa, a little bit of a mistake there from Jake Wilson. As Marcel Wiss will try to make the move coming up to the inside. He looks to be a little bit early on the throttle, but not the right trajectory out of that corner. I don't know why I can't speak this evening, but apparently I can't. Still slotting in behind as Jake Wilson goes a little bit wide now. Marcel Wiss gets an opportunity here. Not many of those will come. More in this race. Oh, so close, right up. It's literally nose to wing at the minute. Nothing between these guys as Dave Jr. gets another lifeline in this battle as the two front guys here goes a little bit slower. Oh, looking back from Jake Wilson's Opel now with the Renault and Audi behind. Normally you would expect the Audi to be faster, but these cars all have the same engine, I do believe, or at least the same size of engine driving them forward, so there are no real difference there. Oh, as Marcel Wiss is taking slightly different lines, showing himself in the mirror, just trying to psych out Jake Wilson ever so slightly, but it doesn't seem to work as Dave Jr. also gets close now. Well, you have been for this entire lap ever since we saw a few mistakes from these two drivers. Dave Jr. showing himself very nicely as Marcel Wiss now comes in. Will he try to move? No, he thinks better of it, or does he? They get very close here. Whoa, and Dave Jr. comes in now. A little bit of robbing. Dave Jr. is sideways. Dave Jr. is out of this battle now. A little bit of contact there sends him spinning out. Wow. And the 3-horse race went down to 2 now. As here we go. Sim Spenkeling on Nart Cox for the lead. This is for the lead. Sim Spenkeling makes a move and he makes it stick. First time he tries it. Sim Spenkeling leads the race. 5 minutes to go. Nart Cox in second. Does not have any kind of an answer for this. Cannot even follow up with Sim Spenkeling's pace in these touring cars. Only time will tell. Do we see Nart come out here for the move? No, he just slots in behind. Maybe they have a team chat, as I've mentioned before. These two normally races together. Maybe Nart Cox will now be the rear gunner for Sim Spenkeling as Sean Piastri will try and get closer to them. Sean Piastri winning the first race. Sim Spenkeling taking third in the first race, and Sim Spenkeling third. Now the roles are reversed, but they're much closer now. I would like to see a battle between Sean Piastri and Sim Spenkeling, but unfortunately as commentators we don't decide that. It's only the drivers who can decide the outcome of this race. Coming down the downhill section again. Not the steepest downhill on this track, I must admit. Into the hairpin now. Oh, the top 3 is so close, with there's only just a second splitting Sim Spenkeling and Sean Piastri as the gap just jumps to 1.4 seconds as we speak. 4 minutes to go in this race. The look behind from Nart Cox, looking down at the angry Sean Piastri, who definitely wants to get up there. Using all of the track does Nart Cox there on the uphill sections of this wonderful forest track. Doesn't look like he's gaining much at the moment, Sean Piastri on Nart Cox. And Nart Cox is losing a lot of time to Sim Spenkeling. Maybe he's starting to focus a little bit more in the rear view mirror than he's focusing on his regular teammate Sim Spenkeling. As Nart Cox's ladder will have to defend this one for the last 3.5 minutes. That will probably be around 2 laps more of racing around this track. We'll see all the fun again as we follow Alexander Delors now under attack from... No, he's trying to attack Yannick. No, he's trying to attack Dan Lensen. I'm getting very confused here with the non-customizable liveries. Alexander Delors on Dan Lensen now. Turn 2 braking. No chance to make the move. They're not close enough. Does look like there's a little bit of apex missing from both cars. Delors hits the second one nicely, or third one here, as it will be third braking zone coming into the fourth now. Slide downhill. This will be the slide downhill section as we go up to Sean Piastri, who looks like he have come within striking distance of second position. Can Nart Cox keep this position? 2 more laps it looks like. Sean Pietri is all over the back here of Nart Cox. Oh, so close, coming to the next one. We have seen moves being done down here. Nart Cox moves out a little bit, moves out again, under braking. It looked like he moved there. I could have been wrong, but he is doing everything he can to keep Sean Pietri behind him. As we're going down the downhill section again, for probably the second to last time in this race, coming into the hairpin. If Nart Cox just manages to hit the apex, then Sean Pietri will have about no chance around this one. He does hit it nicely. Coming up to the next corner, it does look like Sean Pietri got a little bit of a better exit there. Not good enough to make the move. Oh, these cars, they look so stunning when they go around these corners. On the uphill section now, looks like Sean Pietri will have a run here. Nart Cox goes onto the defensive side of the track. Will he move over for the racing line as we see Sean Pietri showing himself? No, not enough. But Nart Cox and Sean Pietri misses the apex there. Both compromised into the next corner. Coming down the final corner of the second to last lap, it will be... Oh, do we get a lap after the timer runs out? No, I don't think we will. As Sean Pietri now can make the move on Nart Cox. If he can brake later, he doesn't do it, but he is on the inside. Contact! Contact, second to last lap contact. They both keep it on track. Luckily for our racing and for us here in the commentary booth and all the spectators out there. If there anyone who can still manage to stay sane listening to my voice yelling out so much. As Nart Cox, he is definitely doing anything he can to defend this position, and Sean Pietri might start to get a little bit desperate. But what will he do? Will he just be smart and take the third position, or will he try the risky overtakes for the second and the glory? 42 seconds left as we see side-by-side action behind. It's Delors and Linsen going side-by-side. As it must be Linsen in the black car who makes some... No, he was ahead before, I think. Yeah, says Chris. He was. As the fight to follow now, it is Sean Pietri who will be coming up here. Still nowhere for him to go. Nart Cox is really putting that car everyone in the move as Yannick Valendok joins the battle for 5th position just behind these guys. Here we go, 3 cars in this one. It's actually for 4th position. 3 cars in this battle. Delors, Linsen and Valendok, not in that order. As they all come around the hairpin. Nicely it looks like, but who will come out on top of this? All still in a nice line, nice formations, nothing too serious here. As we are moving up again, the uphill section for the last time. The timer have run out, checkered flags will be out. Will we see a move here? Will they all keep it clean? Do we get some last lap action? Oh, Yannick Valendok misses that one. He's out of it. As Sean Pietri have made the move on Nart Cox in one of the final corners and will take second in this race. It looks like Sam Spankerling wins the race, and Sean Pietri, wow, what a drive from him to come back up into 2nd position in this race. Nart Cox showing off a little bit, hitting the wall very hard, probably in frustration that he lost out on the last lap to Sean Pietri. Wow. What a drive. Linsen finishes 4th. Delors 5th. Valendok 6th. That Polish guy 7th. Dimitri Schenk 8th. Jack Wilson manages to keep the 9th position ahead of Marshall Viss. Namin 11th. Gill makes a recovery after we saw him going sideways on 2 wheels. Back up into 12th position. Patrick Trafferson 13th. Dave Jr. in 14th. Derek Neal in 15th maybe. These guys haven't finished the race yet. As Caminero tries to get closer, but the race is done. Caminero will be in 16th position. As the other Neal in 17th. And Clean in 18th. Mike Abranosa 1 lap down in 19th position. And Tribeck, who got involved early on in the race, who must have retired, in 20th position. As we see the showboating after finishing the race from Caminano again. Wow. What a race. Truly exciting race. Will we ever see anything as interesting again? I don't know. So, yeah, congratulations to the race winners. And yeah, what a race! What do you guys think? Who was your driver of these two races?
Oh, I don't know. There are so many good fights over the both races. But I think who was the name? The Swiss guy. I can't spell his name right.
Jean Pietri.
Thank you. I think he is my driver of the day because he won the first race with a stunning pace. He got 3 seconds ahead of the second place, so well done to him. And he fights back in the second race from the back of the grid into second. Wow, what amazing drive by him.
Oh yes, he would also be my pick for it. Truly a stunning showing off two different kinds of races for him. The first one got off to a clean start, controls it from the lead of the race. Very important to get that pole position as well. And the second race, wow, he just had to fight so hard all throughout the race, going up and down the field, having issues getting past some of the drivers, but in the end still manages to come up into second position and finishing not that far behind race winner Sim Spankeling. This was truly one for the books. Will we get anyone in for interviews in this series, Chris? You have asked in the chat channel. Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll be joined by someone later on. At least we hope that some of the drivers in this race will. Okay. Hello, Sim Spankeling, and congratulations with winning the second race and third in the first one.
Hey, like Chris, Dominic, and Oliver.
Seems like you had to fight hard for that second one. Did not Cox let you by in the end? Tell us the story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Like he was moaning about not liking the game all race, and then the second race he had good pace actually, and then he was actually muted on voice chat, so he suddenly slowed down right in front of me, but I could evade him. Other than some, I think it was Michael Klein, who just braked on the racing line as well, and I bumped into him. So it was quite eventful. It was quite a battle coming from all the way at the back and quite chaotic at the end. I think you guys must have had your hand full the first few laps. Everyone was sending it left and right, and I was just trying to navigate through the traffic. And at one point I was stuck in a sandwich of two cars, and that actually crashed. So yeah, lots of things happening this race.
Yeah, we saw a lot of overtakes from you in this second race. Isn't it a good feeling starting second to last in a race and coming back to win it?
Yeah, it was quite nice. I expected it to be fairly difficult here because the field seemed pretty close. And I think in the end, what helped me was that I got past some of the guys quite fast, and then for example, Alexander did a great fight with Jean Petre. Kept him behind like 2 seconds, so I got a little bit of a breather behind, and then eventually do the last lap quite easily. Shame that Nart outbraked himself the last corner, because surely he would have had P2.
Yeah, that must have been a true heartbreak for him. He defended so well in the last couple of laps from Jean Pietri, but just losing out in the end.
Yep.
We mentioned that Nart Cox is normally your teammate, and it would have been a great view to see you two finishing first and second in this race. Would that have been one for the record books for you guys?
Yeah, so it's not really official this time anyway, because for some reason he decided to side with the Russians.
Yes,
in the ladder.
Yes, we don't know why. We should have banned that car in sympathy.
Yeah. So
we can't say that.
No, obviously it's still a very nice car to drive. I really love that the TCR cars, there's so much variance in the grid. I think we have all the cars minus one competing in this championship, so you can see a lot of different brands and marks that have driven in the WTCR since I think 2018. So nice to see them all on the grid together, and I absolutely love the fights and how racy the cars are. I think some of the people might have to simmer down a little bit at the start, especially in the reverse grid, and expect that the pace from some of the guys is a bit slower at the start, but remain respectful and don't crash into each other. I mean, everyone wants to have a fun time and not be crashed out. So I think we could do a little bit better there, especially in race 2, but still, for myself, it was a nice drive.
Wouldn't you say that some contact is acceptable in these cars, since we are touring car racing now?
Yeah, definitely. So you can do a little bit of door banging, right? But still, there's no reason to just send it on someone and punt them off, or just erratic driving. I mean, that's not accepted in this league. So I hope for some of the people to simmer down a little bit, but in general, I hope that everyone had fun, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, in the end, we're all here to have fun and watch some great racing. You guys are probably out there to get some good results as well, and maybe drive for a championship. What are your thoughts on that? Are you gunning for a championship win this time around in the touring cars?
Yeah, to be honest, I think it will be very difficult because most of the guys that are like the core of SSRI were just playing RaceRoom low key, so really try to learn the track an hour in advance. But I think some of the competition, they're like dedicated RaceRoom hardcore guys that have done this championship a lot of times, so they have quite some track time on us. But all in all, I don't think we're too far off, so might have some chances, especially with the reverse grid. Of course, it's anyone's game, so we'll see how it goes in the end. Hopefully not too many incidents like killing my suspension like last race. That wasn't very good for your points, but other than that, just want to see some great driving together with the guys.
I can comfort you and say that you were only 31 points behind the championship leader before this race. And now you're only the second driver to actually win a race in this championship, as Sean Pietri won both the races in round 1 and the first race here.
Yeah, I think it's time to break that streak of him winning, so that's good. So hopefully some of the other guys can also finish in front of him next time.
Or you just have to win out in the rest of the races to take the championship.
Yes, let's just do that. Easy. Yeah.
We did notice at one point it was 3 Dutch drivers in the lead of the race. That doesn't happen too often in motor racing, that we see 3 Dutch drivers leading.
What are you talking about? Dutch drivers, we always win, man.
Yeah, well, in Formula 1 you do.
Yeah.
And apparently in SSRI.
Yeah, I need to work on my game in the other leagues of SSRI, so I haven't won for quite a while. Get some shaky hands now. So it's good to be back on top at once.
We did see what happened to you last Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, Oliver. Leave me alone.
That was also a different race.
Yeah, so I hope to come back stronger in Nürburgring, the GT3s, of course. But we'll see how that goes. It might be a wet race, so that's anyone's game once again.
Yeah, wet racing normally shakes up the grid quite a lot. Do you expect a lot of action in the upcoming GT3 race, as we don't have anyone else to talk to here? We have company for once.
Well, yeah, I hope actually to have more company than previous race, because being 3 laps down, that wasn't too exciting. So for myself, I expect much more racing to be going on, and I think, of course, with the track being wet, if it rains, then it's a difficult track. Lots of chance to accidentally spin out the cars. I think it's one of those tracks where if you have a mid-engine or rear engine, they typically get a bit more rotation, so they tend to be good in the wet, but also they are a bit more tricky in the wet. So yeah, I think it's going to be a cat and mouse game. I think in the BMW we would definitely be strong. If it's a dry race, if it's a wet race, then it will be difficult, but also I think the car is pretty stable, so at least I shouldn't be backwards unless someone decides to fucking murder me.
You never know.
Yeah, you
never know. Also, Sam, before you leave us, I only recall having beaten you twice in a race. The first time I had a t-shirt made. Now I beat you again last time when we was at Brands Hatch. Will you make me a t-shirt this time around?
So I think you can ask Jonas Hakola to make you a t-shirt.
Oh, I just might.
Yeah. I love that t-shirt, by the way. Nice job. Are you wearing it still? Maybe it gives you some spirit.
I wear it all the time I race. It's my racing outfit.
Yeah, so that's good. Now you've signed out of the championship, right? So
I'm only a reserve driver, so it probably won't happen again this season.
shit.
But if I get racing again, then I will be targeting you in all the races. I didn't just say that on live camera, did I?
Oh,
I mean, I will not be trying to drive into the same Sprinkling, who will start 20 positions ahead of me.
I'm still afraid.
Well, you will have to lap me at some point in the race, so
You should have done it then last race. That was your opportunity.
I was thinking about it. And I saw you coming, I'm gonna fight this guy so hard. Nope, it's Sim. Yeah. I actually did try one of the times you came up, but then you were just past me and I was like, damn. No fighting.
You shouldn't have said that.
No.
Alright. So, enough chit-chat, guys. Thank you a lot for commentating, I guess. I mean, I think these races are... Yeah, I still have to watch it back. I'm not sure what kind of shit you said on cams, but...
Oh, we said all kinds of shit.
Oh, God.
I would probably skip the intro and qualifying and jump straight into the race, as we had no idea what we were talking about there.
Alright. So, watch qualifying, don't bother with the rest, you said, right? Okay.
You can do whatever you want. It's basically just a Danish guy and a German guy and an English guy yelling at stuff that happens on a virtual track. That actually sounds like the start of a bad joke.
Yeah. You can maybe think of one for next race and then crack it somewhere during the stream.
3 Europeans or 2 Europeans and an Englishman. A Dane, an Englishman, and a German walks into a bar, right? Right?
Yes. Just make sure you have the punchline ready next race, okay?
And there's no punchline to that joke, it's a German joke.
It's not funny then.
No.
Now we've insulted the whole of Europe.
Just Britain to go now.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, we would never do that.
You make us German really bad.
Ja. Alles gut.
Ja, alles ist gut, super.
Super geil.
Eine Jägerschnitzel mit Gemüse und ein Großbier.
Ein großes Bier für dich, okay.
Ja, ja.
Na dann.
Ja, ja. Das war alles mein Deutsch. I only go to the rest stops on the motorway when going further down. Yeah. Before we get to
Yeah, we can.
saying something stupid, I think it's a good idea, Chris.
Yeah.
Stop the stream before we start speaking German at every time.
Oliver just ordered a big beer, so let's quickly go.
Danke alles Vorkommen aus diesem Motorsports-Event.
Danke fürs Kommen, dass ihr bei diesem Motorsport-Event dabei wart.
Auf Wiedersehen, adieu. Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Grüß Gott.
Whatever you say in your local region in German.
Moin. Moin.
I wasn't planning on it because I don't know Chris.
Oh, damn it, Oliver.
Chris, do you know? Then you can tell the good people who are still watching. It is. It's Thursday, the 9th of March. Be there or be there. That's your 2 options.
Yes. Alright, guys. Thank you and have a nice evening.